All right, welcome back. So we're going to start off our sessions with a session on the Vignapti Patras, led by Professor Sweta Prajapati of the Oriental Institute, director of the Oriental Institute at the Maharaja Sayarauji, excuse me, Sayaji Rao, pardon me, University in Baroda. If you're not familiar with Professor Prajapati's work, she is a scholar of Sanskrit and the Northwestern vernaculars of Old Gujarati, which is also at times largely indistinguishable from Old Rajasthani as well. In addition to working on the Vignapti Patras, has worked on scientific and literary manuscripts in Sanskrit as well. In addition to her work as the director of the Institute and publishing the Journal of the Oriental Institute, which if you are working in early modern vernaculars, or definitely if you were working in Sanskrit, you are probably already familiar with this publication. If not, I highly recommend you peruse the journal. In addition to these institutional responsibilities, she is a prolific writer. It would take me too long to go through your entire list of articles and books, including editions of works. And as Professor Dubert was mentioning earlier, this is an important work that we as scholars often take on. The production of editions and critical editions is something that continues to be important today. In any case, in addition to this, I actually want to highlight a particular publication of hers that I found particularly helpful, and maybe many of you will as well if you're getting started in paleography, which is a bibliography of paleography. Of manuscriptology. Pardon me. A bibliography of manuscriptology. And the publisher? And paleography. What's the publisher's name? I'm suddenly forgetting.
Bharatiya Kala Prakashan from Delhi.
Bharatiya Kala Prakashan. And I'll make the citation of that available on the website for the conference. And if you're getting...
It's available on Academia.
Oh, it is? Okay, and available on academia.edu. If you were getting started in the process, or if you're getting started in the discipline of paleography in South Asia, this is an excellent first resource. And I'll be posting some other resources like that as well in the coming days. So with that, I'll wrap up and I'll yield the floor to Professor Prajapati.
Okay, thank you, Professor William, for giving such a long introduction. And I'll make one correction that I don't claim any expertise on Rajasthani. Yeah, I can be helpful for Old Gujarati, and which has some similarities with Rajasthani. Okay, I have brought for you some of the very, very beautiful Vignapti Patras. Anybody has seen so far any Vignapti Patra in any manuscript library? Yeah, in LD Institute. Yeah. There is a possibility of getting Vignapti Patras in Gujarat and Rajasthan mainly. Yeah? But since manuscripts are spread to various places, you may get to some other places also. It has a reason because Jainism is spread in Gujarat and Rajasthan mainly. So all the Jain manuscripts are there in the Jain Bhandaras of Gujarat and Rajasthan. When I come across this Vignapti Patra in my own institute, when they are displayed in the museum, I was newly appointed. I was wondering that how to study these Vignapti Patras, what kind of text it is. And when I opened the scroll, because they are in a scroll form, when I open the scroll, I see that, oh, it has illustrations also. And I started reading the text. Then I see that, how can I read this text, you know? Because it has Rajasthani, it has Old Gujarati, it has Old Gujarati. Sometimes you come across Prakrit also, sometimes Sanskrit. Okay. Then the question arises before the Sanskrit scholar, because we have certain methodology for editing the Sanskrit text, but how to edit this kind of text, isn't it? But anyhow, I took a challenge, because I see that since years together these Vignapti Patras are lying in the display, showcases, and nobody's studying it. So I think that it's my duty, being the staff member of the institute, I should try. And I took up the Jaisalmer Vignapti Patra. I give them the name of the place, And then I found that there are still 3 more Vignapti Patras in the institute. Though I am not a scholar of Jainism, though I don't know the Rajasthani language, I, dare to edit the text. So first of all, we must know that what is Vignapti Patra. What is the term Vignapti means? So as you know, the word Patra, it has many meanings. Patra means the leaf. Yeah? And in case of manuscript, when we say Tad Patra, so it is a leaf of the tree, isn't it? But when you say Sanchipat, or if you say Bhurja Patra, it is not a leaf of the tree. It is a bark of the tree. That difference you must know. But the word Patra is attached to every kind of material. So here, Patra we have to take in a different way, because these are not the actual leaf of any tree, okay, or any plant, but it is a scroll, it is in scroll form, and they are written on either paper or on the cloth. So the general term is attached to it, like Tadapatra or Bhurjapatra. This is also known as Vignapti Patra. This is one thing. The second thing is that since it is an invitation given to Jainiyati, so it is, we can take it in that sense as an invitation letter. So it is a Patra. This is what I understand. So here, V means special, Gna, to know, and Ta Pratyaya is given. So it is in feminine, it is Vignapti. And as we know that Anekartha Dhatavaha. So it is a request to a particular Muni whom invitation is given. You know that in Jainism, in Jain community, Jain religion, Munis are invited, Jain monks are invited to the city in 4 months of monsoon, because they don't travel at that time. So they are invited to one city to reside there, to stay there, and to take part in the religious ceremonies, and to give a religious discourse to the people. So how to invite them? Because they are very special. They are not ordinary people, right? So when they are inviting a yati, though that Vignapti Patra means the invitation letter, the letter of request to come to our city, should be very, very special, isn't it? So if we go to the history, you will see that we get the Vignapti Patras. The oldest one is from 12th to 13th century, and sometimes they are found in Tadpatra, but they are in brittle form. The earlier Vignapti Patras are like other manuscripts in a folios, loose folios, right? But later on, these Vignapti Patras are written on a scroll. And now also we have a marriage card and other things are like in a scroll form. So you see that old fashion, okay? This is our old system of invitation. So the later Vignapti Patras, they are found only in the text form. So they are in loose folios. But of course, I have not seen such Vignapti Patra, but this is what the information I got in the book. And the later Vignapti Patras of 17th, 18th centuries, they are with illustrations. Very, very beautiful illustrations are there. Okay. Now these scroll, they are written on paper. Parts of the paper are pasted and long scroll is prepared. Sometimes they are on a silk cloth, they are on cotton cloth like that. And they are mounted with some other materials to make it strong. Okay. So this is the physical structure of the Vignapti Patra. And this is especially the Jain Swetambar tradition of sending the Vignapti Patra, in which, as I said, the request is made to Jain Yati to stay for the 4 months. And you see, the 12th century onwards, the Jainism spread in Rajasthan and Gujarat. They make a strong hold in that western part of India. And as a result, we get number of Vignapti Patras in the libraries of this Jain community in Derasar, in Upasrayas, or sometimes in the institute like us, like LD Institute, or you go to Koba Institute, or you go to BJ Institute, Ahmedabad, Oriental Institute, Baroda. Such institutes, private or government organizations, they have also stored these Vignapti Patras. But majority of them are stored in Jain Bhandaras. Okay, I don't criticize, but the bad part of it is that many of the Vignapti Patras are, though they are stored nicely in Jain Bhandaras, but very difficult to have access to these manuscripts. But luckily we have 4, so I could study them. Now when we talk about the text part, then we have to see its literary form. So the Jain Vignapti Patras of earliest time, they are published in this magazine, that is Anusandhan. It is published from Ahmedabad. And they have published 3 volumes of all the Vignapti Patras, not all, whatever they have got, but majority of Vignapti Patras are published in 3 volumes of this Anusandhan. And if you see all the Vignapti Patras, they are not printed with the illustrations, and it is not even clear that whether they have illustrations and they have not printed, I don't know. But these Vignapti Patras, if you go into detail, you can see that these are mainly of later, means 12th, 13th century, 14th century, 15th century, like that. And they are mainly in the Sanskrit or Prakrit. So what is their style? Their diction is like other Sanskrit poetry. So they are written in Sanskrit meters like Shardul Vikridita, Vasantilaka, Anustup or Upajati. Yeah, whatever meter suits their subject. So that meters they have used in these Vignapti Patras. Now, if you study all these Vignapti Patras, you will see the scope of studying the poetry. Because they are of very high standard quality, they have a beautiful narrative style. So if you want to know the narrative style of Sanskrit poetry, other than the classical text, you can get it from this Vignapti Patras. And because you see, these are the Vignapti Patras that describes the society, that describes the cities. So you can get a different kind of things in Sanskrit in this Vignapti Patras. Okay. Now what is their structure? Like Meghdut of Kalidas. Everybody must be knowing the Meghdut of Kalidas, because these are also the messenger poems, right? Because message is given to the Yati to come to our own city. So this is also in the structure of Meghdut of Kalidas. So they are the Patra Kavya, they are called as Sandesh Kavya also. Okay. And you will see in these magazines that how beautiful this poetry is. Because you will see there are Chitra Kavyas also, by which you can make a Chitra. If you know anybody is from Sanskrit background, they know what is Chitra Kavya. Okay, so they are also found in form of Chitra Kavya. There are, like many kind of Anuprasas are there. So one kind of, either they start with Ka and end with Ma, like that. So that kind of poetry is also there. There is some kind of, we may say that how poetic talent is utilized in this poetry. So they are highly qualitative poetry in the older Vignapti Patras. And later Vignapti Patras of 17th, 18th century, when we read these Vignapti Patras, you will come across the vernacular language. So that is the shift, from old part, from old Vignapti Patras. If you come to 17th, 18th centuries, you will get it in vernacular. That is the shift you can see. Now, these Vignapti Patras of later period, because they are in vernacular, they have adopted the poetic form as found in the vernaculars. So, like Gujarati, there is a form called Garba. Okay, I am searching if any Vignapti Patra has Garba, because Rajasthani manuscript has a Doha in it. Okay, and I have brought one file for you, and it has Ghazal. It is in the form of Ghazal. Okay, this poetry, and many Vignapti Patras are in form of Duha. And I think everybody know what is Duha. What is Ghazal? Okay, so this way, this shift you can see that from Shardul Vikredit or the Sanskrit meters, these Vignapti Patras are written now in vernacular form. So Duha, I think I don't need to explain. Do I need? If you read the Vignapti Patras, that time also we can see. You need know that Kabir, Mirabai and Tulsidas, they have written in a Duha form. They have 24 matras and 6, 4 and 3, that is the structure of Duha. So 13 instant, 13 and 11. If you know Duha properly, is there somebody from Rajasthan in participants? Yeah? Am I correct? Yeah? Okay, so Ramcharitmanas is a very famous text. It is written in Duha by Tulsidas. Okay, so the Duha is a lyrical verse format. You can sing beautifully Duha, right? And it has a beginning in the 6th century AD in North India, and then how it is popularized in Gujarati, Rajasthani, Maithili, Marathi, even Sindhi and Hindi. So the word Duha is supposed to have derived from the Sanskrit verse even Doptaka. And in Apabhramsa, if you see, so Duhaviya is a term for Duha, and Vikrama Varshyam of Kalidas is written in Prakrit Duha style. Okay, so this is we should know what is Duha. And then Ghazal, I think everybody know. Now if you come to the structure of Vignapti Patra, what is the structure? It is two-way. The major two difference is there, only text is there. In the old structure, there is only text, okay? And the later Vignapti Patras are found with beautiful illustrations. So first it starts with the illustrations, and then you get the text part. So physical form is scroll, of course, and the material is paper or cloth. Now the text part, what it covers? What do you get in the text? So first, as usual, as in all the manuscripts, you get the invocation in the text. And it depends on the poet how long he want to make the verses in for invocation. So invocation is there. Then there is a glorification of city where the Jain monk is residing. Suppose from Delhi I want to invite somebody from Udaipur. So first I will make appreciation of Udaipur, where the Muni is residing. Yeah? How beautiful is the city Udaipur. I will make it, means I will prepare my poetry for that. So this is one thing. And then you will get the eulogy of Jain Yati, whom invitation is given. So we are inviting somebody very, very important. A religious leader we are inviting, right? So there you have to make eulogy for them. When you read, in the text, आप बड़े हो, आप बहुत very beautiful things are there. I will read it. Yeah. So eulogy is given for Jain Yati, and their characteristics and what peculiarities is there with Jain Yati, that is described in the text. And then you will definitely get some things about the Jain philosophy. So there is a Sravaka Dharma, then there is a characteristics of Sadhu, then the qualities of Muni. These things are described, but it is optional. In some Vignapti Patras it is not there. Just they have given the description of the city, and then the eulogy of Jain Muni, then the description of the city where we are inviting, and then it is there to get the colophon. So this Jain philosophy part is optional. Then you have the description of the city where a Muni is invited. Yeah, and see, if you will not get, the manuscript is written continuously. You have to make a difference where that one city is described, where is the eulogy, where is the Jain philosophy, where is the other city is described. You have to make part of it while you edit the text. Okay, so description of the city where a Muni is invited is also given beautifully in the Vignapti Patra. And then last, you will get the colophon. You know the colophon, Puspika, everybody? What is colophon?
Where the year and the writer describe the information of them is given there.
Okay. Yeah. So the another thing is in this Vignapti Patra, after the colophon is the signatures of the people who are going to fund this entire journey of the Muniji, right? Because when we invite Yati to our city and then they stay for 4 months, naturally expenditure will occur, yeah. And because you will organize many big pandals and big this katha shravan, and so you need money for their hospitality, for lunch and dinner of the people. So the signatures of the Jain community, the Sreshthis, that is the term that occurs here, Sreshthi, that means the rich community of Jain community people, because they will fund, they will sign this letter. So we will get the signatures, but they are real signatures. So they are not like the handwriting is different, because the scribe has written the text that is nicely written, okay, and then you get the signature. As we see the signatures, it's like a medical prescription. All the signatures are like that, okay. And also we will get the names of these funding people in the text also. So both ways these things are given. Sometimes it occurs in the text and sometimes you get only the signatures. So at the signatures, these Vignapti Patras, they end. Now we will see some, I have given here some text portion just to make you acquaint, and then we will read the actual Vignapti Patra. See, invocation to Jain gods. So when invocation occurs, there are sometimes, they may be in Rajasthani or they may be in Gujarati, but the text portion of the invocation is, majority times it is in Sanskrit or Prakrit. So here you can see, this is the invocation to Jain gods. This is from Jaisalmer Vignapti Patra. Because it is I have edited, you can read it very nicely and correctly, right? But you have given them the text. It is not clear, and the unclear thing we have to read. Yeah, it is not clear.
The handout is a long scroll.
But we will read it later, not now. Okay. Now here you can see the glorification of the city where invitation is to be sent. See, here you read, Jambu Dvipna Bharatma Purab Desh Mahant Desh Avar में देखता ए अधिको सोहंत हिवतीर्ण देशे पुर घणा पिण सहु पुर सिंगार वाणा रसपुर सुहामणो. Because this occurs for the first time in the Vignapti Patra. So Vana Rasapur is the place where the Jain Yati is residing at that point of time. Okay, because they are moving to various places. So Indrapuri Anuhar im anek gune kari sohe ati sirdar Vana Rasapura Varabhalo Devanagar Unihar. So you see, the city is described here, and see the language. Yeah, and I don't claim, I say that I don't claim my expertise on Rajasthani, but I could edit. There may be some mistakes, I don't know. But Purab Desh Mahant, Jambu Dvipna Bharatma. See, here it is a kind of Gujarati also and Rajasthani, because there is not much difference. So in Jambu Dvip Bharat, Purabadesh Mahant. And I have seen many countries, many places, but the most beautiful is this Purabadesh. And in that Purabadesh also, which one is more beautiful is Vana Rasapur. Vana Rasapura Suhamano. And how it is? It is like Indrapuri. Yeah, nothing is more beautiful than Indrapuri. So this way, im aneka gune kari means it is, yeah, very, very, very beautiful. So he ati sirdar, it is the best among all. Yeah, and Vana Rasapura Varabhalo Devanagar Unihar. So this way you get the, this is, I have given only one portion, but then it continues to many pages. So this is the description of Vana Rasapur where the Jain Yati is residing. Now here you get the eulogy of Jain Yati, like Muni Jinamukti Suri in Jaisalmer Vignapti Patra. We are inviting Jinamukti Suri from Vana Rasapur. Okay, so his eulogy you will get in this portion. तेह नगर शुभ थान के सकल गुणे सहितान चारित्र पात्र चूड़ामणि. Yeah, this visheshan that speaks of the qualities of Jain Yati. Mandit Pandit Mahe Pradhan. You can read the portion. Okay. And we will read in the actual Vignapti Patra also. Gachapatiya Siramor. That means he is the main of all the Gachapatis. There are certain Gachas in Jaina, right? Kharatara Gacha, Bruhattara Gacha. So there are certain sects. There are certain groups of Jain Yatis in Svetambara Jaina. Okay. So among these all Gachapatis, you are the main, you are the best. This is what said. Yeah. Udarya Dhairya Gambhiryata Saundarya Varyadi Guneha. These are all qualities. Bhushana Jaina Vibhushana. Okay. Bhushana Kirti Guneha. Chandra Pare Chadti Kala Rupe Mayana Sanura Rayana Chintamani Sarikha Nita Nita Chadte Moor. So this is the description of Jaina Yati here. In this Vignapti Patra, Dungarpur is also again one place in Rajasthan. Okay. Here you see, it is very nicely described. Like Tara Mahi Chandra. Among the stars, you are the moon. Jim Gir Mahi Meru. Vajintra Mahi Jim Bheru. Raja Mahi Jim Shri Ram. Because Ram is the best king, best of the kings. So, Raja Mahi Shri Ram. Sati Mahi Jim Sita. Ratna Mahi Jim Chintamani Ratna. Gach Mahi Jim Sri Tapa Gach. Te Mahi Sarva Gune Kari. Dedipyaman Cho. Yeah, now this Cho is common in Gujarati and Rajasthani. Dedipyaman Cho. Shushobhita Cho. Sri Pujya Jina Guna Anantamaya Che. Murkha Kimakari Varnavi. Because I am a fool. How can I explain all the qualities? Okay. जो सरस्वती प्रसन्न थाय ते ही इवरण व्यागुण जाए. हाँ, means सरस्वती प्रसन्न होगी, then only I can explain. Otherwise I am fool. I don't have that much caliber, that much talent to describe all your qualities. This is the way of expressing the respect towards Jain Yati. Okay, and Mahatapasvi, Mahatyagi. Athamadik Tapana Karanhar. Atham is, you should know the Jain, this tradition, the Jain culture while studying this Vignapti Patra. Atham is there, Atha is their vrat, one kind of for 8 days. Panch Mahavratavara Vihavani Vishe Dori. There are something, you know, where we need still to correct the text. And the tragic part is that you don't get any copy of the Vignapti Patra. So there is no scope for, you know, pathantar or critical editing. There is only one text and you have to edit it. Anek Chhat Sri Jina Sashan Udyotak Sarava Upama Yogya. Now Upama is one figure of speech. Okay. For similarity, like you are like a moon. So that is upama. So here sarva upama yogya. That means you can be compared to any beautiful or any strong object, and you are yogya for all kinds of upama. सकल सूरी भट्टारक पुरंदर भट्टारक श्री 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 108 विजय धर्म सूरीश्चर सपरिवारन चरण कमलान. Now the characteristics and qualities of Jain Yati, they occur like this in Vignapti Patras, and here they said if you read the Uttaradhyayan Sutra and some other text of Jain philosophy, you will get all these characteristics of Jain Yati. So Panch Mahavrata Palata, Satakayak Adhar, Bhayasathe Bida Bhanjiya, all like 32 they explain. You will get the numbers. Aghna Sthan Adhar, Ugnis Dos, Kaku Sagna. Anybody Jain here? Yeah? So you can correct me, and you can explain if you know better. Yeah? Varak Mohavikar, Visasthanak Ujwalata, Sravak Guna Ikvis. So this way you can get the 32 qualities. Bhavana Pachvis Bhavata. But here you see the language is a Prakrit. Okay. So they shift as per their need. In invocation they may use Sanskrit. In description of city they may use their own local language. While explaining Jain philosophy they use Prakrit. So this way you get the different languages. So you can see again Uttaradhyayan, if you see in the 6th line, Uttaradhyayan 32 naji. Okay, im 32 gune kari raje nirmal gat. So 32 qualities are described here. Then Pancha Mahavrata Palata, again Pancha Mahavrat. Then Palata Panchachar. What kind of achar they are following? Pancha Sumati Traya Guptina, Suri 32 Gundhar. And then you see the name of Jinamukti Suri, Jit Surishwara Raja. So here ends the eulogy of the Jain Yati. Now this description of the city where Muni is invited. You see here, this is of Jaisalmer Vignapti Patra. Desh Abhinav Dekhya. Likhya Chitrankita Lekh Mad Des Sama Mahiyale Upama Nave Ek. That means it is so beautiful that we don't get any simile to compare this Mad Des. Okay, it is so beautiful. Changa Nara Changi Dhara. All the men are very handsome. Okay, Vanita Change Vesh means ladies. Women are also beautiful and wearing good dress. Mad Des Samako Nahi. There is no other place like a Mad Des. Okay, Dekhya Kei Des. I have seen many places. Dipat Tin Deshe Ghana Janapad Jagat Prasidh. Sahir Jaishan Hi Sire. Jaisan is Jaisalmer. Sahir Jaisan Hi Sire. Kruddhi Vruddhi Samruddhi. Vapi Kupasara Gira Sajala. Now it describes the city. There are good well, there are stepwells, there are ponds, yeah, Gadamand, yes, mountain, Gira. Gadamada Mindara Gok. There are beautiful houses, there are beautiful forts. Okay, Vana Upavana Sarita Vane. Beautiful gardens are there. Then Ghara Ghara Padamani Jok. Padmavati. Ghara Ghara Padamani Jok. There are beautiful women in every house. Sahamindara Sundara Vane Vaniya Vag Vihadda Vikasita Chanda Vadaniyam Hai Jaisano Hadda. Vihadda is, if you see the illustrations, it has given the the ending part of the city also. So, and we need to see illustration and text. We have to compare what is given in the text, that the same thing is displayed in the illustrations. Okay. Now in Dungarpur it is said Nagar Dungarpura Shobhato Hare Lala Jinvar Bhuvan Sohamana. Now see, this Dungarpur Vignapti Patra has a Doha style. It has a dhal and it has what they say Ankani, and they are given in various ragas. They have written raga also, that in which rag it can be sung. So it is very beautifully given. Nagar Dungarpura Shobhato Hare Lala Jinvar Bhuvan Sohamana. So Hare Lala, this is the, you see the impact of the language. Kalas Sobha Karu Dhwaj Pataka Surangare Lala Ho Hare Raj Sundar Kamal Desh. So while reading this description of city, I'm focusing on the how, if you get any Vignapti Patra, how will you study? When you get this description, you need to know about the geography of that city also. Yeah. Now Dungarpur, there may be many Dungarpur in India. There may be many, even Vadodara. There are many Vadodras in India. Okay. So yeah, so you need to know that which place is described here. So for that matter, you need to understand the text, and then you have to refer the gazetteers of that city, that state. That is very, very essential. You need to know the culture of that city, that particular place, that state, because then only you will be able to understand the text. You will be able to decipher first, understand is later on. Yeah. While deciphering the text, how will you decipher? You will, stick to the particular letter that you are not able to read this letter. But if you know the culture, if you know their language, then only you will be able to decipher that text. So for that matter, you need to read the gazetteers, then many other texts, historical texts, which will be useful to know about the city. Yeah. And I have given some of the bibliography also later on that will be helpful to you. There is a one journal, Jain Journal. Yeah. So Jain Journal has very good articles on Jain philosophy or some Jain Yati also. You will get the history of that Yati, because the name of Yati when occurs, you need to know to which Gacha he belongs. You need to know when this Yati is flourished, yeah? Though the date is given, but you need to know that besides these 32 qualities, you have to know about him. So for that matter, you need to read Jain Journal. Okay. And there are other journals published from Rajasthan and Gujarat. Here is one Anusandhan, one is Prakrit Vidya. Prakrit Vidya, I think it's from Delhi. And Shruta Sambodhi is there, but yeah, Sambodhi also you can get some good articles. And there is one Shruta something, I don't remember now. It is from Ahmedabad. So all these kind of Jain journals you need to refer to know about the Jain Yati. So that is one thing. Now, yeah, names of people who will make funding that occurs in the text. So here you see Udaipur Vasi Nipuna Sangha Mukhya Shirdar Bhandari Santosh ji, Chaturaji Suvichar, Asaji Ramachandra ji. So these kind of names will occur in the main text also. Eha Udaipur no Sanghaji, because one Sangh is inviting. Okay, entire community is inviting the Yati, so you need to know their names. Moti Chand ne Nathji, Kapurji Bhemchand. Many times, you get a big portion of all names only. See here are the names. Sri Dungarpur Nagar to Sada Sevak Agya Kari, Paye Rajrenu Saman. Now it is the list of people. Muhta Anop ji, Bhandari Santosh Das ji, Mehta Moti Chand ji, Chatura ji, Mehta Nath ji, Mehta Ajba ji, Mehta Khusal ji, Ghatia Kapurand, Ghatia Bhemchand. Now what is this Ghatia? I don't know. Then so these kind of means a list of the names will occur. Sravika's names are also given here. So the Jain, these monks who are residing in Jaisalmer, their names also come, Sravak and Sravikas. Sravaka Sravika Samast Sangani Trikala Vandana 108 बार अवधार वीजी. मीन्स 108 बार हम वंदन करते हैं, आप उसका स्वीकार करो और आप हमारे शहर में आओ. Now about the cultural aspects, the social aspects that you get in Vignapti Patra. Because when they describe the city, naturally these things will come in the text. So this portion which I have taken is from the Vignapti Patra of my own city. So it will be easy for me to decipher which kind of sweets we are eating, what kind of what you can say, the flowers are growing. So these things also you need to know while reading the text. Which kind of flowers are there in Rajasthan? Which kind of flowers are there in Gujarat? Which kind of vegetables they eat? What kind of sweets they prefer? So these things occur in the text. So when you have knowledge of this, then it will be easy for you to understand the text. So see here, Bura Khand Jangoika, Sukhdi Karat Kandoika. Now who knows what is Sukhdi? So it is a typical Gujarati sweet. So I can read it easily. Magdal jalebi khajak barfi let hai jajak. So jalebi, khaja, barfi, these things you know. But sukhdi you don't know because it is a typical Gujarati sweet. It is indigenous and it is made at home. Yeah, outside you get is not good. Yeah. So certain sweet items are there in every part of state that can be prepared nicely at home only. Only homemade is preferred. Yeah, gulab jambu, sikhand and these things are available outside. But certain things are homemade. They are preferred by people. So sukhdi is one thing. Magdal, jalebi is available everywhere. Barfi. Then pendua, penda, लाडुआ, मावा, खलका लेते हैं खावाक, घेवर, शक्कर पारेक, you know शक्कर पारेक? Yeah, शक्कर पारा. Then मामरा सेव है खारेक. You see ममरा सेव, you know ममरा and सेव हम मिक्स करके खाते हैं ना, या तो वो भी एक आइटम है यहाँ, और खारेक. Then Sehe tut jamar khak. I don't know this. What is jamar khak? Then kele, anjir, kamar khak. This we know. Kele, anjir and kamar khak. Ikshu, anar, anna sak. Srifal, nimbu, fanna sak. So these are the fruits name. Champad, juhari, ambak. Now these flowers. Mogra, kevada, limbak. Marcha, malati, jaik, damna, gullane, raik. So some portion is still not clear, but you will see, you will come across such kind of description in the Vignapti Patras. Not always, but if the poet is very sensitive towards society, he will describe all these things. Then the place names will also occur. Like here, this is place names are taken from the Vadodara's Vignapti Patra. Here these places are there in Baroda. Tiki Pol Ghadiyalik, Havelia Khub Matwalik. Pol is, Pol you know, the जो छोटी छोटी गलियां होती है जिसको पोल नाम दिया जाता है, अहमदाबाद में भी है, बड़ौदा में है. So that small portion of the particular place is, this is known as Ghadiyali Pol in Baroda. We go to that place. Havelia Khub Matwalik. There are beautiful Havelis, the big houses, Havelis. Sangh mein bahut sabasik Narsingh Pol ka vasik. Because still there is a one big old derasar in Narsingh Pol. So that description is given. Mehta Pol ke vastik. Mehta Pol is there. Unho ke both hai mastik. Sia Bagh. Now the gardens are described here. So these gardens are still there in Baroda. They are Sia Bagh hai Badak, means a very big bag. Fateh Bagh hai Adak, Fateh Bagh hai. Mastu Bagh is still there. Motak unka urdhva hai Kotak, means their boundaries are very big. That is the Mastu Bagh is described here. Now, how it occurs in Dungarpur Vignapti Patra. Here you see the description is given as Nadiyo Vehati Nirmal Neer. So sometimes they describe very detailed, detailing is there, and sometimes they don't give the names of rivers, but it is written Nadiyo Vehati Nirmal Neer, Pagabak Pani Pathma Ho Raj, Seetal Chhaya Vruksha Samir. Then you see the line Sobhagi Mara Sahiba, Pyari te Priyanev Vinvu, Sobhagi Mara Sahiba. You can, if anybody can sing, they can sing these lines. Desantar Ditha Ho Raj, Nar Nari Vase Sukhdai, Sobhagi Mara Sahiba. So this kind of things are there in vernaculars. Dhanvan Lok Vase Ghana Ho Raj. There are many rich people staying in Dungarpur. Sukhe Anande Vashar Jai means all the days are going with pleasure. Yeah. Sura Sirta Jim Sohati Ho Raj, Nadiyo Vehati Nirmal Neer, Pag Pag Pani Pathma Ho Raj. Because Rajasthan is known for, Dushkal. There is no water, less water in Rajasthan. But here in Dungarpur, Pag Pag Pani Pathma Ho Raj. There is no scarcity of water in Dungarpur. So don't worry, you come to our city. Seetala Chhaya Vruksha Samir. There are many trees. Yeah, that gives you shadow. Then Sarakha Khetra Tiha Nipje Ho Raj. Sara Sa Khetra Tiha Nipje Ho Raj. Many farms are there. Amba Rayan Sarasa Khajur. These are Khajur is very famous. It is available in Rajasthan. So Amba, mangoes, Rayan, one kind of fruit, and Sarasa Khajur are available there. Then Dadima Draksha Kela Gana Ho Raj. Dadim pomegranate, Draksh grapes, Kela bananas. So Naleri, now this portion is not clear. Naleri Asara Sanur. That is not clear. Maybe Naleri is Nariyal, and these are the names of fruits that occur. I think here it ends. Yeah. So this is the cultural things you get in the Vignapti Patras. Yeah, and in the illustrations you will see their dresses, their ornaments, and from that you can make out what kind of the culture of dress is there in Rajasthan, in Gujarat. In this borrowed up Vignapti Patra, because unfortunately it is not available originally, only the photographs are there with us, but you can see the Gujarati as well as the Marathi dresses are portrayed in the Vignapti Patra. But regarding dress and ornaments, we don't get a detailed description in the text. Yeah, so that kind of things you have to make out, you have to study from the illustrations only. I think it was given to you quite earlier, yeah, some 4-5 days before. So who has deciphered it? You? Anybody else? Nobody? Then why Professor William took so much trouble? Okay, we'll read here. Yeah, you start.
Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Shrimad Vigveden Maha.
Then?
Shri Jinaya Namaha. Duha.
See, here it is written Duha. So now you will see that this structure means this poetic form, he has made it clear that this is written in Duha. Similarly, in Vadodara Vignapti Patra, you will get, he writes Atha Gajjala Uchyate. So he writes in Ghazal. Okay, read it.
Swasti Shri
Yes.
I just have a question. What is the date of
Yeah, I'll tell you. It is 17th, early 17th, 18th century, but I forget exactly. There is one more. Yeah, we will get actually in colophon also. Okay, Chaitra Sud 13, Budvar Vikram Samvat 1916. So when we change it into AD, it is 1860. So yeah, it is 19th century. Yeah, the oldest one is with me is the Dungapur Vignapti Patra. So it is 19th century, 1860 AD. Yes.
Swasti Shri Shaitrum Jayati.
What is Shatrunjaya? What is Shatrunjaya? But what is Shatrunjaya? किसको नमन करते हैं? स्वस्ति श्री शैत्रुंजयति. What is it? It is a mountain. Yeah. Where there are many Jain temples are there in Shatrunjaya. Okay, so they refer to this Shatrunjaya mountain. Then
Adi Karan Adiya Haraniyap Sukh Karanani. Jayo
पाप. हरण हरण किसका करना है?
Haran Paap.
पाप का हरण करना है. तो you have to see the context when you read, and in manuscript before making before going to any conclusion you must read the other words. Huh? Okay, harana.
Paap Sukh Karanani.
Hmm.
Jayo Jayo Nabheya.
Hmm.
Nirvikar Vigyan Ghan.
Hmm.
Chidanand Chidru.
Chidrupa. It is cha. Okay. Yeah.
Alam.
Now who else will read? See, everybody, I think, except some one or two, all are Indians, so it is not a difficult thing to read. The script is Devanagari. You may not know the language, but you can read it. It is not foreign script.
We have some Devanagari readers among students who are not Indian as well. I think. Anna, can I pick on you to?
Yeah, good. Yes. Vigyana Ghana. Chi. It is the and ra. Chidananda Chidrupa. Ala. Alakha. Sha is, it appears like a sha, it is kha. Alakha. Alepa. Yes. Namu Adi Jina. Bhupa. Bhupa is a king. Then no. You see the meaning. How it can be ma. It doesn't give any meaning. Okay. Okay, next. Anybody else? I think every Indian should be able to read. Yes, please. How it can be Sanjada, Sampada.
नायक परम दयाल
Yes. Yes.
जब जी वन प्रति
Next one. Yeah, you read.
मेघराय महीपत
Bhave.
भवे महीपत भवे नयेक
नहीं. You have to understand the style of writing. That how the scribe writes bha. Then you will not get confused. Yeah.
वे भव करुणा वे भव करुणा वंत कृपया दीर्घ
Kapotani.
कपोतनि तेन
Tena ka. Na ka.
ते पन रे प्र
Pra. Okay. Okay. Who will read now? Somebody from here who is helping her. Who was helping her? Yeah, please read.
स्वस्थ श्री रमणीय तिलक सेवित सुरंदर वृंद
Sura Nara.
और सुरनर वृंद ब्रह्म
Brahma. See, one matra is
स्तुति
deleted. Here you see one matra is deleted. So it is Brahma.
ब्रह्म
Brahma Vrati.
प्रति शिव मुकुटमणि
Namiye Nema Jinanda. What is that? Adasya. What is the meaning of Adasya?
आदर्यो
Adaryo. Yeah? So that is, you see how it is Rajasthan and Gujarati style of writing, yeah? Means language. Vaya Laghava Vrata Adaryo. There are many kind of vratas in Jainas, yeah? Pancha Mahavrat, they have Mahavrat, they have Anuvrat. So Anuvrat is here written as Laghava Vrata. So Vaya Laghava Vrata Adaryo. Then,
विरमी मोह विकार
good, yes? Rajula Jisi. Taji Tarya. Yeah, this is not Sya. If you are from Sanskrit background, you will read it Sya, but this is Taji Tarya Bhavapar. Durjeya.
लतन जतन
Make a meaning out of it. Yeah? नहीं तो ये प्रलाप हो जाएगा. Vandu. Atyadbhuta. Yes, you are correct. Atyadbhuta. Yeah, because it is folded. So in that fold you are not able to read. Okay? Atyadbhuta.
This is the
Atya. Yeah. And this is the and ba. But this you can,
अत्यद्भुत
it is in the fold. You have to unfold it. Yeah. So go meaning wise, then only you will be able to read. Atyadbhuta.
उद्योतमय
Yes. Yeah. Half of the U, the upper part is in the fold. Udyotamaya
परमानंद अभिष्ट
Padishta. Yes, maybe Dharta. Dharta, yes.
धर्ता
Jyotimaya.
परमिष्ट
Yes. धणी
वर्धमान भगवान
भगवंत
केवल ज्ञान दिवा करूं अतिशय वंतमान
त्रिभुवनपति त्रिसलातनु.
Okay, now from the last line somebody will read. Last line. Somebody will read. Who is there?
The last line, is it showing on the slide?
No, from these last lines. From participants. From participants. Backbenchers.
नंदन गुणः गंभीर
Yes.
सिद्धार्थ कुल केसरी वंदु श्री जिनवीर
Bahu.
जम्बू
Not this is Bahu. This is Vandu.
वंदु श्री जिनवीर जम्बू दीपना भरतमा पूरब देश महंत
Mahant.
देश अवर में देवता
This is
देखता
this is Sha, but it is Kha. Okay. Dekhta.
ए
ये को सुमन अधिको सुमन
See, when if you stop at a or, then it doesn't give meaning. But as I said, meaning wise you proceed. Yeah. So read
अधिको
the other words. So a adhiko sohanta.
किवतिण देश पुर
Okay, you stop here. Now from this side. Anybody from this side? Left side? They are so engrossed, they don't listen. Yeah? Please. Please you read.
हितति देशो पुरुष
हिवत्तीर्ण देशे पूरा घना.
तीना सतु श्रृंगार
सिणगार.
वानरसपुर
Suhamno. So here you get the name of the place. Okay?
इंद्रपुरी अनुहार इंद्रपुरी अनुहार देवनगर उड़िहार देवनगर
Tehanagar. Shubha. Thanake. Thanake is Thanake. Okay?
धनपुरे सहितान
Saitan.
चारित्र
See how he writes da. How he writes da is here. Chudamani. Okay?
प्रधान
Pradhan.
सुमति सुमरत
Sudha Adari. Karano. Tyag. विषय विकारनो त्याग. Which one? A is with three strokes. Yeah, this is A. Adari. Yes. A is with three strokes. It is a very old Devanagari form. Okay. Kido, Lido, Charit J. राखे चढ़ते राग. Okay.
योग प्रधान जग जागतो गुरु गौतम अवतार.
Okay. Now from this line, second row, in the middle. Can you read?
गुरु गौतम अवतार.
That is sa. Actually, it is cha. Then da. It is not very clear meaning wise. Sa cha, da cha. Satya sahasi. Kshama. See how it ksha. You read ksha.
क्षमा दया
Kshama daya vandar. पूज्य आराध्य तमो तमारे पुनीत No, here you need to know the local language. So archaniya cho. This is archaniya cho. You are respectful. Sahutana means among all. Okay. Archaniya cho sahutana. Vandanik suvinita. Again you get here the fold of Vignapti Patra. Yeah? Very badly, in the libraries they are folded. So in the folds they are damaged, very badly damaged. Sobhata Gachapatiya Siramod. Siramod means Sreshta among all Gachapatis. Kumatanda Karena Homani Huvena Duja Hod. धैर्य गंभीरता औदार्यता है ना उदारता धैर्य धैर्य गंभीर स्नेह
सौंदर्य
Sorry, I have a question about one of the clips. Sorry, the in the Siramod,
yeah
is that different from the Chudamani R?
yes it is different.
Which
He has written both the ways.
Okay,
No,
so
the,
it's
that
the
one
same
is
way?
old Devanagari form of da, and this is the modern one.
okay.
So you get yes, in the same text you get his shifting of from the old Devanagari to the modern one.
Right, thank you so much.
सौंदर्य दर्यादि
Guneha, Bhushan.
Vabhushan.
No, that side is that Raswa Matra is given that you have to connect it with the Vibhushana. Okay? They don't, waste a single space. So, Bhushana Jaina, Vibhushana. Iti Guneha. Yes. Now it is a good poetry. Chandra Pare Chadati Kala. Rupe Mayana Sanura.
Question for Lala. Do you think it has to do with the position of the letter in the word? In final position, is there a tendency to use what is the
No, it is not like that.
It can be anywhere in the
Yes,
word.
anywhere.
So
Even in
could
even in one line also you get two kinds of ka, two kinds of da. Here he has maintained. Otherwise you get the modern in spite of this three line of ka. So it is not like that. It is you can use anywhere anything. Yes.
I wondered this is not necessarily relevant to this particular one, but I've wondered the same thing for certain manuscripts from Rajasthan when following a nasal conjunct, because they seem to, the archaic form seems to follow a nasal conjunct or a nasalized vowel like one. But this is just my, what's the word? Just an observation. I haven't seen if that actually plays out.
In Bengali manuscript, Anushar, that means nasalization, is frequent. It has only one dot over the line. there you see a diacritical mark under the dot. That is, nowadays we used to see in Bengali script as Anusha. It is the development.
Yes.
But when the development occurred, so both styles of writing was in the same manuscript.
Yes.
It is also in Bengali, so far my knowledge is concerned.
And it is same in old Gujarati manuscripts also. In one line only you get 2-3 types of letter. Yeah? So they have a habit of writing, the scribe, they write for Sanskrit text also, they write for the vernaculars also. So that habit of writing Devanagari, that comes into vernaculars. That is there. This is what I understand, that there, the practice of copying the manuscript, that reflects in this kind of text.
Very
Yes, then? चढ़ती कला, चंद्र परे चढ़ती कला. सनूर. You know what it says, that like चंद्र परे चढ़ती कला. That means जैसे जैसे चंद्र की कला बढ़ती है, ऐसे ही यहाँ के जो लेडीज है ना, उनका भी रूप, उनका नूर भी बढ़ता है. Then रयण चिन. Now there is a clue. Now read up the next line. Can anybody from this side? Nita? Nita?
नीति चढ़ते नूर.
No. Here he has written the numerical 2. He has written the numerical 2. So it is Nita Nita Chadate Noor. This is not Nitara. It needs time to understand, yeah? Nita Nita Chadate Noor. Now this Jain philosophical, this qualities of Yati will come. Ikavida. So here one portion is finished. Okay. He will not give, the scribe will not give you, the different bold headings. But you have to understand that from this side, this portion, now it starts for the qualities of Yati. Now read. Yes. गुणत्रय तत्वना.
पंच महाव्रत पालिता षटकायक आधार भय साते
Bida Bida.
भिड़ भांजिया
Yes.
मद अवचूरिया मार नवविध रत्ना धारक
Dharaka.
बीज दी
No. Dharaka. This is Cho. And next is Jati Dharma. Means Yati Dharma. Okay. So Dharak Cho Yati Dharma. आपने धारण किया है यति धर्म.
धार कबो जति.
Next.
मैम वो वर्ड लाइक उस इन राजस्थानी वो
No. This is Cho. Because Cho this comes in Gujarati and Rajasthani. Dharaka Cho Jati Dharma Upadeshe Swamukhe Marma. नहीं, उसकी नेक्स्ट लाइन पढ़ो. Bar. This is bar. Okay, 12. So what it can be? 11. So it is Igyarna. That is 11. Bar Upang Vakhan. Nee, vakhan. This is vakhan, means to appreciate. Kathi terna जीवक.
विद्या चवल सुजान
13 we have complete, so it is 14. So Vidya, Chauda, 14 Vidyas. It is Chavada. You have to read it, right? To understand. Chauda Sujan. Know it. There are 14 Vidyas. Okay.
वाजय गुर व्याख्या
Dhyan mein. Now the text is lost. So,
पणदश भेद
so
श्रीकरण
Chauda. Now for 15, what it can be, that we have to know from the Jain text. We have to read the Uttaradhyaya and Sutra and other texts to know this missing portion. Okay. Now next, Sola Kala Muran Shashi Sattare Sanyama Ved.
तिरकरण थिरकरी टालता अघना स्थान अठार
अघना स्थान 18. अघ is a pap. Ugnish dos kau saggana. These are Prakrit terms.
जी उसका गना
These are Prakrit terms, okay? Ugnish dos. See how he writes sa. Ujvalta. This is U. This is U. Ikvis. 21. Yeah? Bhavisa parisah jivata. Sugadangadhyayana 23. This is the name of text, Sugadangadhyayana.
And this is sorted out here.
Which one?
The it
Yes.
comes in the middle of the word.
Just in the middle of the
Kathaka Valipalak Sada.
आणाजी
24.
भावना 25 भावना कथा वगैरह 22
It is also Prakrit term, so we have to know it. Yeah. Kappagayana. Kappagayana. You have to know what it is. Now you have complete 25. So, Satavins. Yeah? Here don't read it as a cha. This is sha. Huh? Don't get confused. Sattavis. Anagarana.
गुणमणि
Mugatamal. Bhushane.
गुरु अलंकारया
Alankarya. Yeah?
पात्र विशाल 28 भेद मति ज्ञान व्याख्या
Pal. Adi. 28.
वचन
सुधारस. सुधारस वरसते. Okay? हाँ. इम खे सुरीस. एक गुण त्रिसजे.
पाप प्रसंगे उदास
उदास.
30 स्थानस
मोहनी तणा. वरजे प्रमाद निवास.
गुण
तीसजे सिद्धना. धारक मन शुभ. शुभ ध्यान. ध्यान.
गुरु 32 लक्षण
गुणे. So 32 qualities of a guru. Yeah. गुणे. दिनाश. दीन. हाँ. दिन दिन आगे पढ़ो ना, आगे पढ़ो। ध है। चढ़ते, च कैसे होगा? चढ़ते तो कुछ नहीं होता, तो क्या होगा? च नहीं है वो, पढ़ो। वधते, वर्धन होता है। दिन दिन वधते वान। आसा तना टालिता सुरसह 33। हाँ, 34 अतिशय जानता वाणी गुण 35। वाणी गुण 35। अब अभी देखो टेक्स्ट का नाम आ रहा है। उत्तराध्यायन 32 नाजी उपदेशक विख्यात ख्यात इम 32 गुणे करी राजे निर्मल गात निग्रही इंद्रिय पंचना नवविध ब्रह्मनाधार दीपक चार कषायना। अरे कषायना एह वा गुणः अठार। पंच महाव्रत पालता पालता पंचाचार पंच सुमति त्रयगुप्तिना सूरी 36 गुणधार इत्यादि यावत्। 37 सूरी गुण गण समलंकित गात्रान जगम युग प्रधान भट्टारकेंद्र श्री 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 108 श्री 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 जिनमुक्ति सूरी जित शुरीश्वर राजान सकल पाठक वाचक मुनिजन संसेवित चरणेंदिवरान देखा देशा मीन्स देखा अभिनव देखिया लिख्या चित्रांकित लेख. Now if you go to any library and if you refer their catalog, if it is written Chitrankit Lekh, that means it is Vignapti Patra. Okay, you will not get may not get the exact title in the catalog, but it is Vignapti Patra, Chitrankit Lekh. Yes.
Ma'am, it's Des or Dekha?
Which one?
Des Abhinav Dekhiya.
Desh Abhinav Dekhiya. Yes, Desh Abhinav Dekhiya. लिख्या चित्रांकित लेख माड़ देश सम महियले उपमा नावे एक चंगा नर चंगी धरा वनिता चंगे वेश माड़ देश सम को नहीं देखा के देश दीपत तीन देशे घना जनपद जगत प्रसिद्ध सहियर जैशान है सिरे. This one is वृद्धि समृद्धि वापी कुपसर गिर सजल. All you know sajal means all these ponds, steppes, all these things are full of water. Sajal. Gada, Mida, Mindar, Gokh.
There is Ikar Mantra is like I think they use Hartal, so it's
Yeah, Hartal is used here. Gadamada, yes, it is Gadamada, Mindara, Gokh. There are forts and temples. Vana Upavana Sarita Vane. Now again Ghar Ghar. It is a numerical, yeah. This one is numerical. These two. Padamani Jokh. Sahamindar Sundar Vane. Vaniya Vag Vihad. Vikasit Chanda Vadaniyam He Jaisano Hadd. Jaishan is Jaisalmer. Now comes the colophon. Iti Shri Jaisalmerutah. Now you see, it is Sanskrit. Jaisalmerutah. वहाँ से लिख रहे हैं. लिखा समस्त बृहत् खरतर भट्टारक गच्छिय श्री संगस्य द्वादशावर्त वंदना 108 कृत्वावधार्या अत्र श्रीमत् पूज्य कृपा दृष्टि वृष्टि भरात सतत शिव श्रेणी वरीवर्ती आपको कुशलो दंतक पत्रम समीहामहे अपरम च आपरो कृपापत्र ईणाम दिनाम माहे आयो नहीं. See how vernacular you see. अपरम च आपरो कृपापत्र. See, there are Krupa Patra, there are Kshamapan Patra, there are Vignapti Patras in Jain tradition. Yeah? So Krupa Patra, the Jain Yati sends to the devotees. So here it is written that since many days we have not received any Krupa Patra from you. There are Suchana Patra also for Shravakas. Yeah? So Krupa Patra Inam Dinam Mahe Ayo Nahi. That means since many days we have not received any Krupa Patra from you. सुधीरावसी आप मोटा हो गच्छ नायक हो आपरे दर्शनरी वंदनारो मीन्स वंदन है वंदन करते हैं आपके दर्शन के लिए श्री श्रृंगरे घना हर्ष है वी आर वेरी एंथुजियास्टिक eagerly waiting for you है संघरी विनती the whole community makes you request and avadharne mean that means you accept our request. All are very happy, very happily means receive you. All are very enthusiastic to receive you. So accept our request. Sri Sangha Upar Meherbani. See how the words they are mixed. Sri Sangha Upar Meherbani Karne Jaldi Padharsi. So many words are similar in Gujarati also. Yeah. So Avto Chomas Athe Karavasi means you come to our place for 4 months, Chaturmas. 4 months of monsoon you come to our place and Athe Karavasi. Athe means they are fasting for 8 days in Jains. Yeah. So you come and you means you what you can say you motivate the people. That's what we should understand from this. Because when Jain Yatis come to the city, even in my village, when I have some friends in Swetambar Jainas, when Yati come to the city for 4 months, they stay and they motivate the people for the fasting. And for small children also there are some different kinds of vrata for one day. Like they have Deepak Ekashnu. So Deepak Ekashnu is like, to make them practice how to observe fast. So that is for children, and that Deepak Ekashnu, what they do is Yati will sit in the center with one lamp and there will be enough oil or ghee in the lamp, and he will lit the lamp, and till the time the lamp will lit, you have to finish your food, and then the entire day you will to make fast. So that is for children, and when you grow up you have to perform this Atthai or Chhat. So for 8 days you make a fast. So that Deepak Ekashnu I have done many times, because there is no no difficulty, because they put enough oil in the lamp and it lit for a lot of time, and then you can eat whatever amount of food you want to eat. But that is a practice for making fast among the children. So here this way.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
This is a good chance to tell you, in fact, we have 10 more minutes until we have to break our fast.
Then will I get time for presentation again, or I have to finish it here?
Maybe you could finish it after 10 minutes, but later, either later today or also tomorrow, we can come back and have a discussion about it.
And illustrations I have not shown you. Iti Rahasyam Chaitra Sudhi 13 Likhitam Pandit, yeah, Satya Vinaya Muni Pandit, Amara Sundara Muni Chidrupa Pujya, then Pujya Nimachanda Chidrupa Megharaj ki Vandana Shatta Ashtavar Mal Mahushi. See, Mal Mahushi, I try to understand this word, and one professor of this language, he said that Mal Mahushi is when that procession, they enter into the city, then you need lot of things for Jain Yati, because he is staying for 4 months. So Mal Mahushi is the entire, their entire procession is known as Mal Mahushi, because there will be many camels, there will be many elephants, they are carrying their things on the these animals. Yeah, so that is called Mald Majesi. Mavesi. Okay. So that is written here. And Tatha Vinati Patra Sri Sanghari Likhaya Meli Che. We have sent this Vinati, this request. Upoha Cha Si. What is it? हाँ सुपहुंच सी यस लखाया मेली छे सुपहुंच सी that will send to you, you will receive it. श्री श्रृंगरी विनती अवधारणे जल्दी पधारसी. You come early. Now you can see here the signatures of the people, okay, and that is very difficult to decipher, but our Sangani, yes.
Let me ask something.
Yep.
Now the hand changes from the last paragraph. If you look at the text which was written by the first scribe, is not in the continuation of the same.
Yes.
And then the gap. Can you throw light on this change of the hand and what is the context of this one?
This and this one.
Yeah, just do that. Just do like
Second and third.
previous one. This paragraph.
Yeah. This colophon is written by somebody else, and this is from here you can see different handwriting.
Colophon, as we know the quotation of colophon,
Yeah.
does it give any dating in this colophon?
No, dating is not here.
Because it says
Only Chaitra Sudhi 13 is given here.
it's a name Chand Meghraj,
Yes.
Vandana, Shatashti
Satashtavar. Huh.
Interestingly, because as me and Sibu are saying, there are many Perso-Arabic words
Hmm.
in this one, including this Mal and
Yeah.
Shirdar or Sardar.
Uh-huh.
Originally it was Sardar.
Yes.
While
Then Sirdar.
referring text, you are mentioned as a Shirdar.
Sirdar. Yes.
So these changes, have you analyzed for any other purpose for this one?
No, I don't know anything. In fact, why this change of language? I don't know. Yeah.
Even this gap was for a picture?
No. Pictures are means the Vignapti Patra starts with the picture. I have given here only the text portion.
Because this next one which you are talking
Because
about,
this portion is written by somebody else. Yeah, and this is written by the main scribe.
yeah. In fact, it is a usual like in documents. The front page is written by a senior scribe,
Yes.
while the back one, as you were showing us the signature of the people,
Hmm.
which is totally in a very raw hand,
Yes.
is usually by a namely of the junior one. And that is we call it the context. Context is on the back side,
Hmm.
and the main text which comes as a invitation letter
Hmm.
is on the front side. So it is changing the hands from the senior one to the junior scribe. also.
Yes. Yes. And here you can see the
Can I suggest
The signature.
another point in this way, what Professor Chandrasekhar put it? I can suggest another thing, because you see the primary handwriting are dhire dhire, slowly written. It is calligraphic writing. But when the colophon is written, then the same scribe written in faster. It may be a logic behind. Number two, there may be a logic because change of writing material. You can see the flat writing material, kalam was mota tha, bigger tha. That is why the lines in the primary material, and then the kalam was, pen was finer. It is behind behind the style of writing. When we go to see the Whibley, he was a very scholar in the line of text. You can see text and other textual criticism. Whibley, he said, when you change the material, change the written script, I think we can see or put this thing in that way also.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perhaps, Professor Chakraborty, perhaps you can have the last word before we take a break. If you want to, I guess, give a, somehow, either if you want to give a conclusion, or maybe we can also leave it here and then take up the discussion later tomorrow if you like.
Yes, tomorrow we'll continue because there are many things in the illustrations that I would like to show. Then only we can have a discussion.
And one thing, there's a mention that somewhat electronics cleared.
Yeah.
Can
Here you see Nathmal Joravar Sangani Varadhiera.
the first line, it's
this-
somewhat, first of the
Yeah, it is lost.
Later on it was removed.
Yeah, it is lost. This one. It is. It may be visible because you see that portion is still there, but it is folded. You know. So if we have a original one, and if we take photograph again, we can read the Samvat here, and from that only I have given this date. Yeah, it is not imagination. It is 1860. Yeah, Samvat 1916 that we get, and Sudha 13 Bar Budh. So this is also, and Nathmal Joravar Siv Sangani, that may be the name of the scribe, we assume, we don't know. And we don't get here the name of the person who has painted it. In no Vignapti Patra, I get the name of any painter, the artist who has painted, okay? So I hope this is enough for today, and tomorrow we'll continue. Yeah, there are many beautiful, I would like to catch you tomorrow with this one.